What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Beautiful Scars, the Conversation. Today we are having a special episode on a Sunday, and we, as always, thank y'all for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about a little bit being in and then coming out of the system. But first, I'm going to go around and let each one of these gentlemen introduce themselves. We'll start from my left and just go work around the room, y'all.
Corey, C. Lou. Name's Corey Lewis. Some of y'all most know me as C. Lou. Got Media Man. There's nothing TV. My name Ray K. I ain't from, Texas, but, I'm new here, so, I'm from Mississippi, so, it's a new person in town.
Pass that mic. Now use that mic instead. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here, Carlson.
Yeah, I'm Morgan. I'm from Fort Worth, man.
Everybody got it too.
Everybody. I gotta introduce myself to introduce some people that they don't know, man.
I am D. Tommy Ransom from Dallas.
This is deep. I'm seeing Scott from Fort Worth.
Well, welcome, gentlemen, to this great conversation that we got to have. So, from my understanding, that life happened to y'all because it happened to all of us in different facets. But being into the system part, where God set you down for a second, what, and if y'all still remember or can give any perspective on what was it like when the bus doors open? What was running through your mind at that time? That's for anybody starting off.
Hold up, go back.
Like when you get to the, that's what they show on the TV shows. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I can go by. But when you first get to,
You saying getting out or going in?
going in.
Oh, what was on your mind? Yeah.
Your first
Yes,
mission.
Your thinking thought.
Yeah.
Well, for me, man, mine was a very moment, like as I say, as a man, you know what I'm saying? That's when you gonna see who you is, like going through a situation where it's you by yourself, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got 1,000 things in your mind, so it's like you really see all the roars and all the things you sucked up as a child when you face a situation, especially like a serious situation. You looking at, like in my situation, I was looking at, they gonna lie to you, man. You looking at 30 years, but I ended up getting like 16 years, 3 months. But it's like to accept that, like, you know what I'm saying, like accepting that shit, and then you accepting it, and then walking out like, damn, I don't get out. It's already 2010. I don't get out 2025. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta put that shit in your brain, man. And it's kind of like it take a lot. Like it take a lot out of you. You know what I'm saying? For like it take a lot out of it for like it's like stand up. It's stand up and lay down. Like, and that's just being real. Stand up and lay down, because you're gonna have to stand up. But if you did like going through the whole ass system, you did some fucked up shit. You gotta face the consequences, because it's like people don't be understanding. Like, yeah, you might did this, said, did, told it, but it's like he gonna go to a situation where he's gonna be fucked up, especially if you can't walk certain yards. You see what I'm saying? And that shit a headache. Like, cause I didn't see dudes do it, and like, damn. But and it took me a while to understand, like, and understand people for who they was. Like, and I'm a real man. You know what I'm saying? I look at myself as a real man. So at the end of the day, sometimes you want to see what was going through the next person, like him.
Yeah.
Like, cause I had a dude tell me, like, man, he fucked up. Like, it hurt him to just look at himself every day in the mirror. Like, he was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And this nigga like 6'9", big old nigga. I'm like, like, damn, but he was like, he respected me how I carried myself in the prison, but he was like, man, like, he know he fucked up.
So what about anybody else? What was it like when you had to like
Shit.
go ahead and come to terms with this is where I'm at? What was it first thinking in y'all heads?
I think we, I was 17. I had a manslaughter, and you know, I was in the county jail. So like my guy was saying, you know, you listen to everybody, like, man, you know, you don't know the law, you don't know nothing. Like, man, what you think they gonna do with you? You got the old school cats who been in and out of jail. They done been down the road. You know, they telling you, you know, the max and this and that. So, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, for years, you know, but that ain't the max. They can give you what they want to give you, you know what I mean? But it's, you know, it was closed, so it was like, you know, coming out of high school, so I still had, you know, I was about $1.45, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, like, man. And see, in the system down there, it's like you go from the jail to the processing. Take it to a big area, which is like Rankin County. And so I think when it hit me, maybe like when I got my time and you go back there and you sit in the back of the court, you wait on the jail to come get you, you know, it's like, man, you got somebody on the side of you crying, and they gave you 6 months, and you looking at them like, man, 6 months. You know what I'm saying? I got 17 years, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you crying about 6 months, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, for me, it hit me then, but it didn't just hit me hard. It's probably about after my 3rd year, you know, and with me being 17 and something to a youth correction to where when you turn 21, you go to the big league, you know what I'm saying? We having the time. So it was like, when they sent me to Rankin County, you know, I had the waves and everything. They sit you in that chair and cut all your hair off, you know what I'm saying? And you sitting there like, you know, like, man, you know, you take that first shower with that state soap, you know what I'm saying? You're like, man, this is what it is, you know? And so, like I said, it's being a man, because, you know, you come in and you got, like I said, guys 6'5", 6'6", tattoos everywhere in their face. Yeah, they working out. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, you start working out, you finna, you know, so it was like, I'm running with guys I don't even know. I'm just there because I was young, you know, and trying to learn the laws of the land, you know, and you know, you see what you don't see, you know, you can't be in everybody business, and you know, it was a structure. It's a different world. It's structure. It's not mama, you know, calling dad. You know, you got to, you know, stand on your own as a man. You know, you can't be on that phone. You know, I had to stop my mama because she hadn't heard me. She was calling to the prison. My baby, okay, he all right, you know, and it felt some type of way when I was just coming in. Hey, man, your mama called. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, you young, but it's like, man, being a man, half of these guys in here ain't got no mom. Half of these guys ain't got no dad. There are people out there that care about you. So it's like, you got to get how you get. And it hit me at one point where, you know, at that point where I had to stand up, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you get your locker box too. I'm watching guys do all types of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So you know, I'm just being, you know, real about what's really going on in there, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what you call it? Well, your locker box, you can't tell me.
The commissary.
The commissary. That's what I'm saying. They you know.
Oh yeah,
It's a world within a world.
So
Everything going on down here. Going on in there.
See, you gonna be
You gotta take his life, man.
You gotta
You're gonna have to be tough. You're gonna have to be tough. Like he was saying, like this step on what he was saying, like he got a man. One thing, I went to TYC and shit like that at 16 and shit like 15. So I understand, like I tell a person, I had to really understand, like grow up, like because you learn the morals and respect and like you know what I'm saying. But you learning from being at home around some certain peers, but at the same time when you get locked up, it's more active.
Yeah, you gotta be that.
You see what I'm saying? Cause you can't, ain't no just cutting in front of the line and ain't saying nothing, like, ain't none of that.
It's respect.
Cause it's like, it's a respect thing. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta be, it's like, you gonna see who you is as a person, as a man, you know what I'm saying? Like one thing I always talk, man, I don't care how big a person is, man. Hey, man, motherfucker hit you, hit him back.
Right.
And that's just what it is. Like, and at the end of the day, a man gonna respect you for even getting out there, other than you tucking your tail, looking crazy. Nah, hell nah. You gonna respect me, as you know what I'm saying? And that's what a man supposed to, you know what I'm saying, gonna be taught. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, that's just, I understand what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? When we come back, man, you gotta, ain't nothing. Hey, chest up,
Right.
chin out. So
Tori, you was talking to me about this, about the difference in, I think it was the state of development, right? What is that difference? Like,
I've never been to the States, so I can't speak on that.
The motherfucking feds is a baby cake house, man.
Compared to the
For
state.
real, to state is hard
Our
time.
chicken is
Fed,
real.
you got AC, certain compounds, you got AC, but it depends on what level you is in the fed.
Yeah, that's what I would tell you.
If you USP, medium, and the lows they ain't shit. Cadillac, camps and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? That's really peaceful time. Them niggas at the mediums and pins, they doing time. They doing real time. Like real shit. Like I ain't gonna lie to you.
okay,
Yeah.
The medium you got, like I started at Three Rivers medium, so you got people that got life sentences.
Yeah.
So you got knives over your at the lows and the camps. Ain't no knives. When I say knives, I mean like shanks, what y'all see on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They checking paperwork.
Yeah, you kick.
What checking paperwork is, find out if you hot or not. If you done told on somebody or not.
Right. That's the way.
A lot of times you can't walk the yard if you like that on certain yards. That's what Morgan was saying.
Yeah, you ain't like, especially them pins.
The sheeps and wolves.
Yeah.
Either, you gonna groom to be a sheep, or you gonna be
No, for real.
You make a break, you
Right.
No,
You
for
gotta
real.
be open.
good, you come back in the bag and you gonna come out
Like
inside.
for real. You could,
Whoever you are,
it can
come
break
down.
some dudes where I done seen it break some dudes, because you get them there, you got dudes get on the drugs, K2. You got the really nigga, you probably was out there, the fly nigga in the room, slumped over on that K2. Like for real, and you be like, damn. But some niggas be trying to get away from that time, and that motherfucking time ain't going nowhere. Nah, that time ain't going nowhere, man. For real, that time ain't, man, you gotta do that bitch, man. For real.
You gonna wake up the next day.
Man, you gotta stand up, man. I'm talking about like, man, like my thinking thought was so fucked up, right? Cause I was like, man, I can't even think about going home to 10 years. Think about how you gotta put that in your brain. Man, I can't go. I can't even think about going home. I gotta do 10 years, then I'll be like, shit, I'm close to the house now. You see what I'm saying? Like real shit. So it's like when I got the 10 years shit, I was cakewalk to me. Ain't nothing in the way no more. I got 36 months. Boy, 36 months, you smelling, boy, that ain't nothing. Like 5 years in the pen, you like, man, that ain't nothing. Especially like, cause you gotta train your brain to be in this bitch.
It's really once you get over the hump.
Yeah.
Once you get over the hump, you start
Yeah. People be understanding. Don't be wrong. Like,
when did that usually happen though? Like when you kind of get over that hump.
Well,
say
I gotta get over the hump,
hump.
like halfway through.
yeah.
Like halfway through, you start coming down.
See,
that
people
hill,
be
you
thinking,
like, all
the nigga just being that motherfucker stressing. Man, nigga be in that bitch kicking. And I ain't trying to like man, for real. Like we been, I ain't gonna lie, man. I did my bid player. Like I kicked it the whole bid just on the strength, cause I wasn't gonna let the time do me. I went in that bitch and chill, learn the ropes. I ain't no fuck up, you know what I'm saying? So I'm chilling. Got to the camp. Shit, got to the camp, started my bid over. Stayed around 2 years, shit. I'm back to the next level. Both months. You see what I'm saying? But I broke my 13 years up. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, shit, man, it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you got some dudes stressing in that motherfucker. But, man, hey, long as you got family that love you, man, and you was a good person out there, man, hey, long as you got somebody that locker, man, hey. Shit, everything else, it's a go.
So what was the feds like then? I'm trying to paint
It
picture.
depends on where you was at.
Yeah,
Because if you had something, that was a retirement home for hustlers. That was some bullshit.
Word.
If you could be at the camp, you should be able to go home.
Yeah, if you at the camp, man,
You should be able to go
I ain't
home.
gonna be like, man.
But
The
he asked
camp,
y'all what's the difference.
what's the difference
A
from
lot of
what?
us ain't look. He been to the feds. He
Yeah.
been to the state. I've been to the feds. He been to the feds. He been to the feds. All of us is really fed bands. Ain't none. Only one dude been to the state.
Okay.
So the difference in the feds and the state is the time is harder. There's more politics in the feds than it is in the state.
State is
Well,
State you gonna be
in-
hand to hand combat.
in the
Man, you gonna be
Yeah.
fighting.
every day.
The real
I was in
thing.
Parchment. I don't know if y'all heard it, but they got
No, but you know, state on that game
Where
shit.
Parchment?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, the state that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The feds run off
Yeah,
where
I
you
had
from.
I got jammed up down there a long
You see what
time
I'm
ago.
saying? So, like-
Claiborne County.
But explain them the difference. A lot of crimes, most federal crimes,
Port
has a lot to do with money. Whether you was a white collar dude or a drug dealer dude,
Okay.
it comes from money. That's why the feds come grab any of us. They can't tax us on the money,
Exactly.
or somebody stealing the money. One of the two.
And then, like,
So in the States, you got some of everybody.
right.
You don't got some of everybody like that majority of the time in the Fed, unless you from DC. The guys from DC, they doing state time in the Fed.
So in layman terms, you in the state, you a thug. You in the feds, you a criminal.
And that, all that shit some bullshit.
I'm trying to make it clear for the people.
The reason I said some bullshit,
'Cause I get where y'all
I'm
come
saying
from.
some bullshit because at the end of the day, man, all that shit, man, they got niggas that supposed to be in the state that's in the feds for some bullshit. He might have a felony and caught a gun case, had a gun around him, that made it go fed. He probably had
Yeah.
5 grams.
There we go.
He probably had a dime, but with him having a gun and being a felony, he go to the feds.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I don't need a lot, man. Feds, like, they, man, look what it was, man. Back, I want to say once that shit trained over back in the 90s, because you know, I ain't gonna lie, coming up in the youngster, I thought you had to be the motherfucking me.
Yeah.
Who was big
No,
things.
shit,
You
yeah.
would go to the feds, you would nigga get looked at. You see what I'm saying? But growing up and watching my surroundings and seeing how they operate, you know what I'm saying? And understanding it. You know what I'm saying? So when you know, like in my situation, I'm like, damn, they be on some motherfucking me, how they run their shit, man. They be on some. If they want a nigga to tell, they want you to tell, but hey, yeah, hey, that's gonna make they shit be so where they ain't gotta work.
In my opinion, the feds are all about convictions.
Yeah, they don't give a
I
fuck.
mean, and the people that own stocks in the feds, or whatever.
Yeah.
Of course, they want to keep the prisons full. So they all about convictions. I don't give a goddamn about you.
Yeah,
What you got going on? They want to convict you.
Man, you gonna be
So
Yeah.
they get involved. You is a rap.
You ain't going to trial with them. You ain't gonna
I
play
did.
with
And boy, they bust my
them.
ass.
You know what they said. You ain't gonna fuck with them, play with their money. You know what I'm saying? They gonna lay down.
You can
state,
try.
you can do it in the state.
Yeah.
Like state, a nigga go to trial. Yeah,
You can beat the state. You really can't beat the feds. You can't beat all 50 states.
Yeah.
Not all 50 of them. No.
So when you get over that hump, right? This I would like to hear this from each and every one of y'all, please. And you starting to realize I gotta come home now. I get to come home. What does your mind do to your future? Like, does your mind say I gotta stay right here, just give me a job, live a regular life, or does it take you somewhere else to, like, I gotta still get out here and get it on my own, but in a different way this time?
I think with me in my situation, like they saying about the state, you know, it's game. It's game. You're too young, you're in the middle of the line, or you're in front of the line, or you're in the back of the line. So, what my thing was, that's how I made it through. I ain't gonna lie, it's you can be whatever you want to be in the state, you know what I'm saying? But dealing with that, I think situation with the phone call. Like I told Mama, I said, Mama, you know, the last conversation I had was before I just turned myself up. Like, hey, you ready for them to call you and say something happened to me? Or them to call you and say I done did something to somebody? You know, I had to have that mind frame every day because, you know, it's more, they go by your level. By me having a violent charge from the door, it wasn't even no 23-1 from the door because I was in red and white. You go red and white, black and white, green and white. That's these levels up. You can go outside, you know, like work outside, and you know, black and white, you medium, you just chilling. Red and white is 23-1. You coming out for a shower, you know, 1 hour recreation and back in your cell. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, it's like, I think at my midpoint, you go from being an inmate and a convict. You know what I mean? Because, you know, being a convict means you're going to learn the ropes of the state. You know what I'm saying? You know how to move, you know how to talk to the officer, get you a job, you know how to move around. It's really manipulation. You know what I'm saying? But being an inmate, you just learn it. You can smell somebody new. You can tell somebody new in the pen, or just like going in the bed, somebody just coming versus somebody that's been there 10 years, 15 years, how they carry themselves. They know how to live. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's more of a survival. For me, it was more survival off a different type of love. So once you get out here, the love different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. With a woman in your family, then you know you had to survive off your love was to survive. You feel what I'm saying? Versus, you know, getting out here is free, is giving. You know, and there you gotta, you know, it ain't none of that. You know, it's like you really gotta be that wolf when you really gotta. I mean, I got a heart, man. I care about, you know what I'm saying. But in this mode, you gotta turn that down. You can't be giving, and you know what I'm saying, because it's took for another reason why they say your kindness get took for a week. I mean, they're giving, hey man, you hungry, you go this and that. Somebody sitting back watching, it's sweet. You feel what I'm saying? You can't be like that. You know what I mean? So I think with it, it's just being, you just gotta know how to live and be that wolf, because if you a sheep, they don't, you know, it is what it is. And once you stand down and stand on your 10 feet, 10 toes, and once it's an establishment, you gotta sit. I don't know how the feds really just work, you know what I'm saying?
So, those y'all didn't, like, what was y'all, this is my to-do list when I get up out here? Is that even a damn thing?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, what was that like, you know what I'm saying? Man,
so for me, it was figure out what I'm gonna do with my life. So I watch the news in the morning with this guy right here, and I realized everything that we have in our house, everything we work, come on the truck. And I'm talking to D, I gotta go get my CD in. And I put my play together through talking to him in the morning, watching the news, talking to D and the other men that had their CD in before I did. And that was my whole play. My wife would tell you, I wrote all mine down before I left out. I had a playbook. And when I hit the ground, when I got to the halfway house, they weren't helping me get no CD in. I'm working, and they taking 25% of my gross. Then turn around, I get out the halfway house, put my own self in truck driving school. You just got to put your plan down and stick to your plan and run it. You got to stick to the playbook.
And I had
the old playbook, you got to throw that out the window. Right. Or you're going to be back in there on that same dummy time.
Right, yep. And like I said, I was 17. I was a senior, but I didn't graduate. So I used to get the newspaper clippings of my class, you know, taking their class pictures and stuff. And so I'm like, man, I gotta get my GED. You know what I'm saying? I still got my mind like, okay, I gotta talk to one of these officers, talk to people who are over education, man. Can I take a TAGE test or something so y'all can see what, you know, where I'm at? I want to get my GED. So I signed up for it, and this was 2005. And I took the little TAGE test and everything, and they came back like, oh, okay, he read it. But I was on the 23-1. It's like, it's hard to get me up out of there and transfer me, because when you transfer me, I got to be shackled down going up the hallway. You know what I'm saying? I can't be around black and white. I can't be around green and white. These guys here got 2-3 years, or they got some type of little probation to where they go to school, they get out here. So I ain't getting out early. I got 17 years. I'm just trying to get my GED so I can be in tune with my class. Like, that's what I supposed to be graduating to do. So either way, I ended up getting ready to take the GED. The day of the GED, the whole facility on lockdown for a night. You got to deal with that. I can't control the whole facility. I ain't did nothing. I'm in my cell all day, but I can't come out and take my GED because of what somebody else did, or what's going on, because they're afraid that the whole facility is going, like a domino effect. So here it is now. I'm sitting up here waiting. Got to go another 6 months. Finally get a chance to do it. I stole the highest. I stole like a 700. You know what I'm saying? I got out my red and whites and made it into the black and white. Now I'm like an assistant with the teachers. They give me a job at the education. So every day I got a job going to the school. And you got guys 15, 16 that's still in the facility. I'm almost 21. You know what I'm saying? So they got it to where we leave there when you're 21. But make a long story short, I started helping guys get their GED. You know what I'm saying? I'm really doing what they hiring these teachers to do, but I'm in there doing their work. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like that was one of the good things that I started helping out. And then, I was coming on the zone, me being a part of the organization. I had a little juice, I had a little pool, so the guys amongst my organization, I used to be like, look, man, you got 2-3 years, man, why you sitting back here on the zone, bull crap, you know what I'm saying? This, you know what I'm saying, and law, this is what this is, this is what this is, and this is what you want to be, this is what you require this, you know what I'm saying? So you need to go to school, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever like that. So I started getting not just my organization, other organization members to get their guys to come to school. So now they're taking the metal detectors down. Now you got the security game one like, hey, why y'all letting you guys that's in these games be up here at this center, or be up here at this school? But little do they know, we done turned around the fights that was going on in school. People coming to the school now, getting their education instead of sneaking knives up there, carrying out hits. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we're gonna go to school and take care of it, because everybody go to school just to get off the zone. So now we're gonna turn it around to where we got guys coming up there actually getting their education going home.
So you basically turned into a mentorship role.
Right.
That's commendable. What about the rest of y'all? So you got a trucking business now, and what about you, Mr. News Guy?
I work for a company here in Dallas. But for me, I think I just want to piggyback on what this young man was talking about. I came into the system a little late. I was 37 when I entered the system. So I knew who I was when I came in. And when you talked about getting over the hump, and when you talk about what is the plan when it's getting closer to going home, I understood and knew that when I got an end date, that time would soon run out. So for me, my plan started day one. When I got off the bus, the reality thereof was that I was there. I wasn't going home, mama couldn't save me. I knew at that point I was there, so I had to make a plan to move forward. And because going in so late, and in the Fed system, there are a lot of opportunities. And people sometimes don't understand that. Because of my education, because of the things that I had, because of the things that I knew, they put me in certain spots where I was able to help. And so when you move into the point where saying that, hey, I'm here, but it's other people in situations that need what I got. And so being able to give those things away, being able to move someone into the point or to a position to where they can say, now I'm thinking outside the box. It's no longer how. We use that term a lot, institutionalized. But when these guys come in at an early age, come in at a late age, if you know who you are, you don't get caught up into all that other stuff. the prison politics, the prison gangs, yes, there is a term where you have to survive. There is a point where you got to do what you need to do. But when you got family support behind you, when you got friends, when you got other people say this all the time. I didn't never think I was going to go to prison and make friends. I never thought that some of the guys that I actually got a chance to communicate with, talk with, conversate with, they would actually become friends. And that's where this whole thing come together, is that we're just not in there by ourselves. You know, sometimes we do have to disconnect from our families in order to make it, depending on what your situation is. But other times, there's times that, and I tell everybody this, God put us there for a reason. He could have took us out in the streets. There's no coming back from dead. But when you understand who you are and know what you want in life, then you can go through a situation like this and say, I can come out a better man on the other side. And so, again, they laugh at me because I watch the news every day. The news was the great indicator. It let me know what was going on. I wasn't into the BETs and I wasn't into, I'm not a sports guy, but the indicators of what was going on. What could we look forward to when that time runs out and I got to go home? That's what it was about for me.
And the church said, amen. I told y'all he was preaching. I knew. I knew. I felt it all on you. I'm a PK.
He said some real game.
Say for real, man.
He broke the game down real good to you, for real. And he ain't lying, man. Like, that was like for real.
What about you, man? For me, I was the same for as what Mr. Ransom was saying for as I was 37. And for me, being 37, you know what I'm saying, I never thought I'd be going to jail. And then with going at 37, I got a 10 years, first time, never spent the night in jail, none of that. So the reality of it, for me, hit when I went to that county and dressed out. And I put that orange, yellow, whatever color you in when you go to the county. So for me, that's when it started. And then I processed that when I came. As soon as I went to court like this, like we look, when I come back, when that judge told me to go and take that jacket off and get that tie to your wife at the time, because I was married at the time, get that tie to your wife, you ain't gonna need that. That's when it started to hit. But it didn't hit me until that ride back. Now I'm processing 120 months. I start counting. Oh, that's 3,000 days. I can't do 3,000 days. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. I know I can do it. I'm just saying, you gotta prepare yourself.
Boy, you gotta psych your mind out.
I got 3,000
You gotta
days.
psych your mind out.
And at the time, I had my son was 6 years old, so I hated. That's the most hurtful part of my whole thing that I could say was my son was 6, and I was at a time where I had my first child. I got 2 biological kids. I had a child when I was 18. I had a daughter. But at 37, you know, you different. I was more ready to be a father more than I was at 18, which I did what I knew I could do, or what you knew to do. Right. You know, ain't no book on parenting. But at 37, I was more selling, construction. I was cutting hair. I had my barber license. I had a shop. I did all that. So at that time, I never would have thought that I would be doing any prison time, because I really wasn't doing shit. But that's a whole other story. But at that point where I got that time and I had to process them 3,000 days of that 120 months, I pretty much knew that I wasn't going to go home once I changed over. So the hardest part to me about any of the time I did, because I didn't go to the high levels. I didn't start off at a medium. I started off at the daycare center. That's what I call it. Yeah. It really ain't nothing but a daycare center for adults. Yeah. You just can't go home. Yeah. Some of them have fences, some of them don't. But anyway.
The best place to be.
Exactly. I was fortunate to do that, and I was at home because I was right in Cedarville, so I'm from Dallas. So I was right there. I was right at the house. So that part, I dug, but I didn't even get straight to there. I did a little counter time first, and to me, that's the hardest time, because you stuck and you ain't going outside or none of this shit. Maybe once or twice a week, if that, you go outside and look at the roof, you ain't seeing no sunlight. That's all you see is the sky. So to me, that was the hardest part. But to answer your question about when you coming home or getting to that point, I was kind of like they said, when you get that time and you get your mind set to you ain't going home no time soon, you start having to make plans and start trying to get yourself a routine to keep your mind off things. I went in when I got that time. I thought like everybody else thought on the outside looking in, thinking that okay, you at bedtime, you gonna be able to go get degrees, this, that. It sound good. All that shit, that's nonsense. They start taking that out the system. And that means, because honestly, they really don't want you to do yourself like that. They say that, but they don't, because they put stuff in there to make it hard for you.
Before, not cut y'all for like what's that plumbing and all that. They
But I
gonna
mean,
give y'all.
college. I got some
They gonna
college
give
out.
you. They gonna give you all.
Got the but they took it away because guess what? They made it too hard for the professors to come in. They made it too hard for them to come in now. I got some Cedar Valley College out in there. But at the end of the day, I didn't get no degree. I thought I had no time to get a degree.
That's how I operated like the forklifts and bulldozers.
So like the labor job.
You get some good trade licenses and stuff, but it don't carry no weight. You still got to come out and
you gotta come out and figure it out.
But but to answer the question about boys, the changes that you made, I think like Ransom said, if you were a responsible man, and I was a responsible man in my eyes, I took care of my business. You already had a mindset to you not eating into that stigmatism or whatever stereotype of being burned up on it because you're not gonna buy it. You don't go in there and you're gonna do what you need to do if you got whatever you gotta do. But at the end of the day, you're not gonna let them weigh on you mentally or emotionally. Mentally, you're a man. You're a man. You was there before you went in. But if you were exactly. So your thoughts and getting into all that nonsense is gonna be kind of you're not thinking about it, especially where I was at. Now, if I had been on a higher custom level, I can't speak on that because I haven't been. I won't sit here and say it. But from where I was at, for me, it was just an adjustment knowing you're not going home and getting a routine. And like you said, once and I did my time off all these guys. All these guys I came after, well, I got there before you got to the camp, but that helps you do your time because you see people come and go. And if you get to learn we got like brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? We got, outside. So when you get to see him, get to the doorstep. You don't even think about your time though. But you done 2 or 3 years with these dudes, so you ain't even realize you done 2 or 3 years of that time until they're gone. So then you like, oh, man, I done walked that 3 down. Now so you click with who you click with, but you big because they gonna guess what? Sharp men gonna click and they gonna keep each other uplifting each other. They gonna do positive stuff like all these guys right here, man. They positive. That's why they doing stuff now. You know what I'm saying? And we the same way in there. We ain't. If you are independent, strong man out here, you're not going messing with nobody that's lesser than that because that's gonna bring you down, and you're gonna be doing their time, and it's not gonna be on your time. If you're a leader, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be a leader in there. Or you gonna remove yourself from that. You don't have to be, in there trying to lead nobody that's not trying to be led, but you gonna hang about men that's positive. Like us, we ain't in a if there's some stupid stuff going on, we somewhere else. Because we got other stuff on our mind. We got real life. Well, we got real life. We got family, we got stuff to look forward to, so we on some family time type of stuff. What you gonna do with, hey man, make sure you don't go out there and do this, man. Don't go out there and try to catch up, go out there and catch in. See, that's what a lot of dudes do. They get out and try to catch in. I mean catch up, not catch in. You gotta catch in. You gotta see what's going on, but a lot of dudes won't. There's that gratification, that instant gratification when they get out, thinking about what you had. You gotta let that shit go. That's the first thing I do. You better keep them pictures and keep them memories alive and leave it like that. Cause if you got that mindset talking about what you had when you get out, you're coming back or you gonna do something stupid. So you get out there.
That's where that kind of that thinking of where it comes from being institutionalized.
No. Institutionalized is totally different.
There we go.
Institutionalized is being stuck on what's going on inside. I'm talking about real life. I'm talking about what's going on outside.
You get out.
Yeah. When you're in there, that's institutionalized.
When you get out, you got to see what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Feet on the ground.
Yeah, it's too loud.
Ain't no more free, free lights.
Ain't no more free on the boat. That's over.
Yeah, it's
That's why
get up,
people
go
say-
work, get your job, figure this. You gotta figure it out.
See, that's the real reason
Like, for
people
real.
go in and out because they don't want to be responsible.
Yeah,
for nothing.
that's
That's the real reason. They don't. It's hard. Life out here.
Man, life
Life
right
out
now.
here. You know,
But
life-
I tell a person, man, when you for the like as for me, when I was like a year short, I'm just thinking like, man, hey, with my brain, I know I ain't on what I used to be on, so I'm like, I gotta try something different. You see what I'm saying? So me finding a job, working, you know what I'm saying, figuring it out as I go, you know what I'm saying, and I always told myself, man, I was at the counter when I used to ride the lawnmower. When I used to get paid like $60 a month. That was $60 a month. I think it was 60. It was $60 a month. Boy, I said, boy, whatever I work in, boy, I know it's gonna be $60. Boy, I ain't that. Boy, Lord, I get out and go get a job. So I had to put that on my mind, like for real, cause you it's really you could see it. It's slavery, man. I'm cutting a motherfucking the whole. It was so many acres. It's real. So it's like, man, and on that lawnmower, but I'm loving doing this though.
Yeah.
It's a peace of mind. You see what I'm saying? When a nigga on them John Deere's out there chilling or the forklift, it's a peace of mind because you ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't, for me, like I told myself, man, when I get out, man, I'm gonna give me a job. I never had no job. When I went in at 27, you see what I'm saying? So like, shit, I gotta go get a job. So me getting out and people seeing me working, seeing me transition back into society, because some dudes I done seen, man, they fucked up. Like for real. So cause it's hard, it's hard out here. If you ain't got that mindset where, hey, learn how to live in that mean set. You see what I'm saying? To find your person, you gotta understand, you got a 360 spinning limit in there. And you learning how to live in between that and manage that, like for real. So being out here is like, it's different. So it's like, okay, if I'm making this, you gotta bust that check down, save it. And it's crazy because it's like, damn, because they ain't coming fast enough. Now your mind thinking you gotta have multiple incomes. You get the 2-3 incomes, all right, now you can sit down and wiggle your toes a little bit. You see what I'm saying? But man, hey, I tell a person, man, hey, man, it's just all about manning up, man.
So, I listening very intently to all y'all for real, because there are some very remarkable stories here that you just usually don't get put out there. They love the negative stuff.
Or the gay stuff.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing they want to hear.
Yeah,
That's two things they gonna grab.
I really appreciate y'all having this very candid conversation because somebody's watching right now who get ready to go up in there, like freshly coming out of there. So let me ask each and every one of y'all this. What was the biggest lesson that you learned while you were in there that you can tell people moving forward on either going in or coming out? But somewhere along that way, you learned some lessons. But what was probably the most valuable?
Shit, the streets ain't what you think it is. The streets ain't what you think it is. It's all
No, for real.
It's all some bullshit. Sometimes like street rules were created to tie your hands so a nigga can have his way with you.
Ooh.
Yeah,
if you think about it.
No, for real.
Because everybody, like, you know what I mean, like all that old keep this solid shit, at the end of the day when you get jammed up, everybody gonna do what's in the best interest of them. Niggas not about the crew. And then you see, you know what I mean, in the rap music these days, all these groups starting to fall out. They're starting to be more public on what's going on. But let's be clear, this shit was going on since the Mafia days. It's way before us, you know what I mean? They like to make it seem like, our culture we're gonna push what we're gonna push. It is what it is. But yeah, this shit been going on. The street stuff is overrated.
Man.
You know what I mean? It's overrated. I mean, we always, as a people, we always gonna be a little flash and all that, but the street, they say,
Man,
well,
you
prison
better
or death, it's the
But I'm
truth.
going to get you a good long $20 an hour.
Yeah.
And ride it out.
Well, listen, look, I ain't gonna get too long with it. When I came, after, like, he saved $60 a month, I go get a unicorn job. I think when I was at Texas County, I was mostly at Singleville with them. $100 a month. I'm like, man, I come home working a warehouse job. I run up 50 in the first year out of a warehouse. I'm like, these niggas don't want to work, nigga. You, nigga, you just came from where I come from, nigga. I'm for the second year, 55 out of a warehouse. Now I work for myself now, whatever. But the point was like, nigga, I ain't begging for no overtime, nigga. I mean, if it's there, I'm gonna take it. You know what I mean? Like, simple as that. Now I'm getting overtime when y'all ain't getting overtime. Yeah, but they were playing, like, you know, kind of what you were saying a while ago about your mentality coming out. Nigga, you can't do nothing but do it.
Yeah,
You gotta do it. It's got to be in you to want to change. You know what I mean? What just happened to you? Like, I did 7 years and 2 months on the team.
Going to the club, leaving the club, going to work. Man, I'm that 13.
Man.
Boy, that 13 had me up, man. I got out like, man, see, I mean, I know it's something different, but I learned how to, like, man, hey, not to just, like, being out here and then just having that mindset, like, being in there, you can't, like, what you can't fix, you know what I'm saying? You just can't fix it, you know what I'm saying? You like, I ain't out here stressing, I ain't gonna stress myself out over, you know what I'm saying? That's just like, and I still keep that mindset and keep me level, you see what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of shit can weigh on you, and you let the shit weigh you down, it can distribute the brain. So some shit you gotta let God help you know what I'm saying, and keep it pushing.
I think time, I learned how valuable time is. You know, like I said, 17 years. Like, we can leave, y'all can leave Dallas now and go on vacation for a month, come back. Something done changed. Some road or something. A store, they done built a store or something, you know what I'm saying? So think about that coming back after 17 years. Everything looks different. But I think the time, you gonna value your time because I learned just being in there, like, you can't control what's going on out there. You gotta think about where you at that moment. Like, you know, dang, if I would have been out there, such and got killed. Or, you know, because you lose people. And I feel like a person that's going in, you must have a strong heart and a strong mind. Because people don't leave. People that you think gonna be around or gonna ride it out with you, they're not gonna be there.
They're probably a tough
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
See, yeah.
I had a head full of her. I'm bald head now from all the stress.
Prison show who you grew up with.
What?
Or who was really for you.
Who was for you. So, because you don't push away all that faith, you're going to get that away from you.
What?
And the main person you're going to see right there ride the Flow Flat Tire T-John. And T-John, Mama ain't going nowhere.
No, for sure.
Every
Sunday.
Have Mama ride to the wheels fall off.
Oh, yeah.
Real.
Yeah. Mama ain't on shit.
Man, I'm talking about for real. Mama boy, you hear me?
What's the most valuable lesson?
Well, for me, I'm gonna say what I learned in there was I thought I was a man before I went in there, and I realized a man don't sacrifice himself from his loved ones for selfish gain.
Well, y'all been singing some mouthfuls. No deal.
No, for real.
You gotta think we ain't had nothing but time to sit up and think.
You find out
You find out
exactly
exactly who you are.
Thoughts, the good thoughts, the bad thoughts. You find the inner you find your inner peace, you find your spirituality with Christ, God. You know, you find everything about you in that time frame.
Light shines the brightest in the darkest moments.
Exactly.
I know.
You know, and everybody going there, they try to, you know, and I ain't knocking, try to find God. I ain't gonna be real. Like, I had my same vibe. I had phone numbers up in there. I had literature up in there. And when you open it, you write in the little slide because, the officers find it.
You scroll your Bible.
You know what I'm saying? I kept my Bible, but towards about about 14 years, I really just started going to prayer calls. You know, I was the young guy running, they'll scream out prayer call. You know, guys in there have prayer call. You know what I'm saying? I'm, you know, give me a little money, you know, whatever, but I started
went
going
out for him. You heard it?
Yeah.
You heard
That's what
it?
I'm listening to.
The light bulb went out.
Yeah.
You find out who you are.
Yeah, you know, I started praying and building my relationship with God, and I seen stuff start to change. And then as I got down to my 16th year, it was getting worse. The killers were just getting worse and worse, and it was just bypass. I mean, this middle cell, somebody just got killed in the cell, or somebody just got killed down the hall. And like, man, I got 7-8 months left. You know what I'm saying? Like, it getting worse and worse. Like, it seemed like things was just getting worse and worse. Man, I'm trying to get up out of here. I started walking around in my shower shoes. That's, you know, in prison, that was the thing, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you keep your tennis shoes on, you know, whatever. So, you know, me being a part of what I was a part of, I started distancing myself. Like, you know, they find you, like, bro, what you doing with yourself? Go home. Huh? You had me nine, bro. I'm good. I don't need no security. I don't need nothing. I'm finna go in this hallway, go get my hair cut. I don't need nobody with me. I'm good. And it just, I felt protected. You know, from the years before that, you know, it was mandatory. Like, I can't go nowhere without my security or stepping out with, you know, walking around. I couldn't do nothing without somebody. You know what I'm saying? And it kept me as a target because they watching you. They know you somebody. You got somebody around you all the time. So I said, man, this. And the new commissioners started coming in, and if you were a part of it, they started not letting you make your parole. They would send you to the bed, out the state. That's what they started doing. So I was getting targeted, and I was like, man, you know, we had cell phones too, so I started writing up demos. Like, hey, look, don't call me this no more. I don't need, you know, security. Look, I advise y'all, you know, I still be, you know, advising to y'all, but I'm getting ready to go home. Y'all should respect me. You know, like, man, I don't want no security. I don't want to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just let me be. If I go down there and watch TV, I don't care if I'm around the whole prisons we've been beating with. Let me be. And implement God into that, He protected me. Because it just got worse and worse and worse. And it was time for me to get released. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, like, you didn't tell me, hey man, I go home tomorrow. I played all the way to the point where, you know what I'm saying, I done been up there to the K-Man's office and signed my papers and everything. Like, man, you signed that P, you know, they call it P, parole. Nah, man, they denied me, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was like, I gotta thug it out because there was guys getting killed. You know, finna get ready to go home. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, it's crazy. I'm like, so I had to be like, man, nah. I finally told everybody I had about 3 days left. But I started giving away stuff. You know, the sheets and phones and you know, the free world stuff I had in there, the chain. Oh, you gotta go, bro. I'm finna go home.
That's one of the differences between the state and Fed too. You in the state, you don't even want to let these niggas know you going home in the Fed. I got 10 in the wake up.
Boy, 2 months left.
Boy, I got 90 days. Boy, we're thinking that 90. Oh, man.
She's nigga came. You should have came when I came.
What about you? What was your?
I think for me, the biggest experience that I've learned was that, you know, when you come out of a situation where you've had so much and you had all of this put into you, and then go into a situation like being locked up, what's in you gonna come out. And I realized that what I learned, that all that I had in me, it was for me to give away. You know, being a part of the education department, teaching GED classes, teaching all the other classes that I had to teach. I didn't realize that I had so much in me.
Right.
But when I watch other guys, when they would come back, and you know how it was, a lot of times in the feds, when you pass your GED, they put money on your commissary. And so teaching these guys how to write a paragraph or how to do this, that, or the other. And I would get back to my bunk and, you know, I'd have Snickers and all this other stuff for people just saying thank you. And so what I realized, what's important to me is not always important to other people, but what's important to them, I had to make it important to me. And so giving away the things that God had placed in me, my family, my mother, my sisters, brothers, everybody, I knew and understand giving that to somebody else that needed more than I needed at that time. That's the greatest lesson that I learned while I was there.
What about you?
My biggest, I think, a couple of the biggest things that I learned in there. One was patience. You realize that you have no control over nothing, but nothing but yourself, and you can't predict or dictate none of that stuff. You know what's gonna happen. You know when you leave and none of that. So I would say patience, and I would say gratitude, being grateful. I think when you're in there, you get stripped of everything you got. You know, I think you when you get out, it helps you when you come out. You know, if it's if you're a good person. If you're not, if you one of them, just you want whatever you want when you want it. That's different. But if you if you mature enough and you a man and you for me it was gratitude, being grateful. Like I'm grateful for the little stuff. Like I'm probably broker than I've ever been in my life. But at the end of the day, I'm more grateful and appreciative of the little stuff. Like the stuff that I cared about probably before, I don't really care about. It made me be grateful for just waking up. I tell everybody I ain't counting. If they ask me, they first thing, hey, how you doing, man? I'm good. I woke up on this side of the dirt. I woke up, everything working. I'm glad I was able to put both feet down. I can hear, I can smell. I be grateful for the little stuff. I ain't got, because in there so long, you thrive and you wish for just another chance to get on the other side of that door. And I like what we was when we all was together, the four of us. We said that we walked that track and we watched the freeway, so we just would want to just be in that car and ride on that freeway. So now I'm grateful for that. A lot of times we say that,
I can't wait to get in the car, man.
We can see cars on 175, on 175. So we walked the track.
Like, I can't wait to get in the car.
And then you see your family come and go. Mine is gratitude. It's gratitude now. I'm good with the little stuff. I don't have to have the best, but the best. I'm always look good because that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the same, and it's easy for me because I'm the same dude whether I got $1 million in my pocket or $20 in my pocket. If you my boy, you can get it. You can get 19 of them.
Yeah.
You feel me? So that part ain't never changed. So I'm grateful for that. I learned to be more grateful. And it's another word that I learned, and I learned this in art day. It's a word called sentimentality. When everybody, the street people, when we was out here hustling, we always, the first thing you do when you get in there, people say they did it for their family. I processed myself that was a lie. No, you did that for yourself. Because if you care for your family, there's certain things you wouldn't do. We say that to make ourselves feel good, and that's why we buy the things that we buy for them. Because it's that word, sentimentality. You do it. It's like it's how you excuse acts that wasn't right, but you try to do a good deed in order to make it, like it's good. But it's really not for the good. So I learned, I learned that word, and that word stuck with me because I said that's true. We that's the first thing we say. I did it for my family, man. That's just to make ourselves look good. We did that for us because we wanted what we wanted. You know what I'm saying? So I learned that. That was one of the biggest things I took from in there. But I'd say gratitude. And it made me adjust that attitude as well. So I'm just, grateful and thankful and appreciative of what I do have. And I don't try to dwell on what I don't have. Because I know that material stuff come and go. And you just patient enough, you'll get it. You just got to work at it a little harder. That's all.
It's just like, you in that hand washing your clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I admit that be home, work on the washing machine. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the small thing that make it took away from it.
Appreciate everything. Appreciate everything.
Like
for
I said,
real. Clothes,
refrigerator.
Man, clothes and shoes, man. Like, people don't understand. Like, you for wearing them jumpers for so long, they get out and for real, man, I ain't gonna lie, man, I'm talking about, and I've been out going on 4 years, April be 4 years. Man, I accumulate a lot of shit, man. Right. That's on the straight.
And take care of.
Yeah, and I take care of it.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I take care of it because, man, being gone all them years, you know what I'm saying? And then you be like, dang, you be getting up, you be tired of what you gotta put the jump on. And it's just like some days you be like, man, I can't wait to get bullshit over.
Now you take the time.
And then when you outside, now you're in the freedom, you smelling good, you know what I'm saying? It's like everything is reality, because everything you say, man, I can't wait to do this. And then now that we out, it's like, man, everything is like patience. Like you say, man, patience is everything.
But people look at us different than we get out. And we look at people different than we get out. Because we, like, y'all ain't even, like, they don't care about none of this stuff out here.
Yeah.
As we care about it now, like, dang, you just really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Like
just look at us being institutionalized. Y'all institutionalized too. You know what I'm saying?
You don't take it for granted. Whereas you used to take stuff for granted, you don't. Like even like family. Like now you gon' those that stuff with you, boy, you gonna stick with them now, right? Yeah. Because you see that material stuff bought a lot of stuff that wasn't in your best interest. You know, including friends and people around you. So when you fall, that stuff joined. But the difference with me is I was always that dude out, and I knew that because I've seen it happen to people over and over and over. But I was always that dude that was always home that they can call. But I knew that I'm one of the people that I'll do for you, and I don't expect it from you, but I was just doing it because I would hope that you would do it. I know that you probably won't because people character speak for themselves. If you think about the people that you was out there, you hung around and things you did for them, if you, most of the time you doing it, you already know if something happened to you, they ain't gonna do it because you've been doing it. You've been handicapping them all this. You've been enabling them all this time. So they ain't gonna do it because you gone. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it showed you. So, you know, when you get out now, or when you come home and you see all the people that fell off and and the people that you helped didn't help you, then it make your circle that much closer. It's probably people, these people right here probably got, just like me, you probably got more people we probably got people that we was in there we closer with than people that we called our friends before we left.
I was gonna say something. It's a proverb you said, it's through tough times that a friend becomes a brother. And it feels like with this energy in the room, that's what happened.
No, for real.
Go in as friends, but y'all
yeah.
And so, like,
because it's a lot of been.
Yeah.
It's a lot of been now and connections.
Tori, I really appreciate you, bro, for like saying this is the episode that needs to be talked about because just from feedback already, people need to hear this from each and every one of y'all, Jim, from a different perspective, a different meaning. But then the blessing is that y'all realize what got you here can't get you there, and you change the here so you can get there, man. And that's commendable because too many times we see our brothers get out and go right back in. And so for y'all to get out, stand 10 toes, really say something about who you were before you went in. And y'all did just what many of us do, make horrible mistakes. Some of us are blessed enough not to have gotten caught. Because the way I used to drink, I should have had thousands of people. For real. And so I appreciate that because it even makes me have more gratitude hearing you all's stories. And I really truly hope that this touches someone because somebody's son or daughter need to hear what y'all said today. And I really appreciate it.
Definitely. And this is one of them topics that you can't even cover in one segment because there's so many levels to it.
I was gonna ask, could we do another?
Let's do
right.
There's so many.
I mean, because it's different aspects of it, even going like down to before you plea and listening to people in there, because that's a big misconception that a lot of us have first time going in. You go in there and you start listening to these people in there. You got so that's different. Like I say, you could turn this thing into 2 or 3 segments because you got somebody out there that's going through it that's in them first stages. So they need to know, you know, what to expect, what to do, what not to do.
What not to do.
There you go, because that's your
Say, man, I'm gonna tell y'all.
that could be final for you. You know,
No,
that could be final because you sign them papers or you take the wrong plea and you that's it. It's final.
Yeah, because if you
It's
don't
final.
know,
If you don't know,
you don't know,
right?
I gotta save this energy, though, because
if you don't know that,
I would love for y'all to come back when we do it again next week to get into that layer of like that part, because that's I think that's a must know. Because you're right, everybody in there are loyal.
But even to listening to your own lawyer,
See,
it's different segments and listen to this thing. Where I think you know, if you do something like that, if you want to open up the floor, you want to do something like that. Get the feedback on the content you have today. See what they have, what questions they have, and do a layout. Then we go from there because that's what make it more knowledgeable and that make it more worth doing for everybody, for the people. Because you want to hear what people need to hear, or what they want, what questions they have for a person that's going in, for a person that's coming out. What
it ain't over. The misconception always is that like you go to jail is over. Shit ain't over. You hit the reset button.
It's a life.
for real, it ain't over.
I mean, look at us though, man. We all look good, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's beautiful scars.
Hey, I tell people not to cook. I tell people, man, like one thing about it, man, like you got to think about all the time you didn't get caught. Right. You see what I'm saying? So once you put that in your brain, man, hey, and accept it for what it is, man, and learn from it and gain from it. Because the one thing I tell a person, man, during time, I think a lot of kids need it these days just on the strength that it'll show them a lot of morals. It'll show them the respect. It'll show them how to really carry themselves as they get older. Because now they lost. Think about we grew up with begging.
We had to be.
We did. Long as you grow, if you're grown, yes sir. No, you know what I'm saying. But this is like
it's loud.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Y'all type in, spread this everywhere, and whatever questions that y'all have, we're gonna make a series out of this. And so we appreciate y'all tuning in. Shout out to everybody here, man. Y'all have blessed my life for real, and I thoroughly enjoyed this and look forward to doing it again. That's line 215. You still got boots on?
Yeah. I still got boots and I got rooms available for lease. But that's not what I did.
What was you gonna say?
Fellas,
Yes.
my partners, my brothers, did time for you cats. When I made the phone call for them to come up here today, I didn't know it was going to be this way. I didn't know it was going to be this solid. I knew we was all solid brothers. But, sometimes people get a misperception about us just because we did time. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all. We started. I started beef with scars with this young man. Probably when I didn't know it when I started it when I was in India. Cat told me, "Come on, man, I need an interview." So it just went from there to this, and it wasn't supposed to deviate to anything but disability, but. Man, this shit was magical, man. I appreciate y'all. I love my brothers, man. I love my brothers, man. Like man said, we don't realize it, but I did time with these cats, man. I consider them my brothers, man. They my brothers for real, man. I could pick up the phone and call anyone up, and it was supposed to be more than this show today.
It's always next week. Hey, we love y'all beautiful people. We out. Hey, why you used to come here?